So the name of my blog is Stitchin' with Sam, and it is a craft blog. After doing a lot of research in the market and seeing how competitive it would be, I realized that it's very competitive. There are a lot of craft blogs out in the world, so I knew that if I was going to make a craft blog, I needed to make it unique and something that would stand out from all the others. That's when I decided to do it about applique, felt applique to be more specific. Applique is becoming more of a lost art, so it's not as popular, so I feel like making a blog about it would make people become more familiar with it, and it would also stand out because there aren't a lot of blogs about applique. So how I would put a unique spin on it is it would be with felt and not wool. A lot of applique people do it with wool, and wool is so much more expensive than felt, so I felt like I'd be able to reach a lot more people because it'd be a little cheaper, a nicer way to do applique, but a little more affordable. There we go. And the stuff that I would do tutorials on and stuff in my blog would be wall art, so it's stuff that you can hang up. A lot of people do applique on quilts and pillows and things like that, so I felt like that would be a different look. So the target market, there are 2 target markets actually that I found, and the first one are crafting and sewing fanatics. So it's people that are very familiar with different sewing techniques and are just looking for ways to challenge that and to learn to grow more as a crafter and sewer. And so I wanted to have difficult patterns and tutorials on my blog that people can challenge themselves and to have more fun so they don't get bored with all the easy stuff. And then my next target market are newbie crafters, so people that are wanting to learn a new skill or wanting to expand what little knowledge they have already of sewing. And hand applique, since it's not as popular, that's something that is unique and that would be fun for them to try out. So I'd have beginner tutorials as well for newbie people to learn how to do felt applique. And I feel like after they did the beginning videos and tried them out for themselves, they'd be able to grow and eventually be able to do the more harder, difficult tutorials as the more experienced sewers. So now let's go and see my blog right here. So this is the front of it. We have this beautiful little ad down there. So the design of my blog, I wanted it to be simple. So I really liked this layout because it had just like the light blue and white, because white's very calming color, and because I was going to post a lot of pictures of bright colors and projects that I've done. And kind of further down, I kind of have these 3 pictures here of kind of just like the 3, not goals, but like parts of my blog that were most important. So I have tips, patterns, and inspiration. And it just kind of shows what my blog entails and what they're going to get after just seeing the very front page. And then towards the bottom, another ad, I just have the little phrase that says, "Join this crafting adventure with me." And that shows where they can follow me and they can enter their email to get updates. Then I have all my social media stuff, and they can search my blog down at the bottom. The very bottom, it's kind of hard to see. They have access to my pages or my menus at the bottom, but at the top I'll show you as well. So across the top, I have my main ones so they can get to my home screen. Then I have my blog feed, my frequently asked questions, my about me page, and my blanket stitch tutorial. So the reason I have my blanket stitch tutorial as a menu is because a lot of my patterns use that, and my videos, they use that stitch in it, and instead of having to repeat that stitch over and over again in each of my videos or written patterns, I decided just to have its own little menu so they can easily find it and not have to search through patterns, and I wouldn't have to repeat it myself. So for my blog feed, I have my how-to video, and it's a pattern on how to make this cute little love sign. So how it starts out, let me see if it'll play. Just little music, and it's just a step-by-step video on how to make this project. So there's no talking in it because I feel like craft videos can get kind of confusing when there's just a lot of verbal instructions. So I felt like just putting basic instructions on the screen and actually physically showing them how to do it, it would help, and it would be a little easier. Let's kind of zoom in. Yeah, so I just show just cutting out, very easy pattern for anyone to do. It's very fun, and if you want to learn how to do it. So that's my how-to video, and that's in my blog feed. And then I come down to custom or personal projects. It's just a little post about why I love doing custom, why in my Etsy business, Wispy Stitch, where I do hand applique items like this, why custom options are so popular, and why I feel like having patterns on my blog will help people, inspire them to make their own patterns and things like that. And then let's see, then I have a narrative about my starting my Wispy Stitch business and how I got into that, and it just shows some of the things that I've made for my Etsy shop and possible tutorials. And then I have decorative stitches, so it's a place where they can come, and I have, I think it's 6 stitches. Yes, 6 stitches, and it has kind of shows you what they look like, and I kind of describe how to do them. So if they wanted to add some fun detail to their projects, they can come here for some basic stitches that are really fun. Then I have the how do I cut out my felt project. So there, I give them 2 options where they can cut out by hand, which I usually do in my tutorials, or I also show you how you can do it with a Cricut machine or a Silhouette machine. And then I have another post that's about wool or felt. So I give reasons why felt and wool are good ways to, good material to work with. Again, I use felt in all of mine because it's affordable and it's really easy to work with, and I feel like a lot of people can connect with that, but wool is great as well, so it's really up to them. Then also in my feed I have my blanket stitch tutorial as well, and I just explain kind of why I use the blanket stitch in all mine and why it's important. And then I have 5 reasons why felt applique is for you, and that was my first blog post, and that was really fun because I get to kind of show kind of why it's for me and it applies to everyone. So I have like how you can customize it and how it's creative and how it's a feeling of accomplishment, easy to hard tutorials and things like that, and it's just really fun. And then I have my join me on this crafting adventure at the bottom. So that's my blog. Then I have my frequently asked questions where they can come, and my About Me, where I have my About Me video, so you can get to know me, kind of the face of Stitching with Sam and who is this Sam. And then the blanket stitch tutorial is easy access right there. So to market my blog, because I have an Etsy account, a Wispy Stitch, I do a lot of marketing on social media for my business. So I feel like people who are already customers in my business will be able to, after they have purchased something from me, they might be like, this is kind of cool, I want to learn how to do this. So then they'll have access to my blog and they can find tutorials. So I feel like that would be an easy way to gain followers from my already loyal customers for my shop. And so yeah, advertising, I can advertise it along with my Etsy shop, and I can also do it separately, so I can share it on my personal accounts, and I can also, so I share things usually on Facebook and Instagram, and I feel like those are the best, because you can do paid advertising and promote different posts, so I feel like that would be very beneficial. But yeah, so that's my blog, Stitching with Sam, and I've had such a wonderful time making it, and I want to keep going with it and keep adding to it, because I've never blogged before and I never felt like I would even blog. But now after doing this class, it's helped me to create a really sturdy foundation for a blog, and I feel like I could keep running with it. So yeah, so that's Stitching with Sam.